Who was the class clown that suddenly stopped being funny? Fish earned his nickname in 5th grade when the dead catfish he brought for show and tell rotted in his locker over a 3-day weekend and made the janitor throw up trying to find the smell. 3 years later, he was still causing chaos, like getting a substitute to call him Mike Oxlong for an entire period, or that time he superglued his ass to a toilet seat so bad they needed the fire department to get him loose. So when he started showing up to first period looking like absolute death, most people just assumed he'd been up all night gaming or watching dumb YouTube videos, but I knew something was off. Fish and I had been tight since 6th grade. Yeah, he was a clown, but he wasn't stupid. He knew how to function. After a week of him basically sleepwalking through classes, I cornered him at his locker. Dude, you look like trash. What's going on? He slammed his locker harder than necessary. My babysitter, bro. I actually laughed. You're what? Shut up. His face went red. My parents still don't trust me alone after the whole kitchen thing. The kitchen thing, where he'd tried to make deep-fried Oreos at 2 a.m. and nearly burned down half the kitchen. That was like 6 months ago, but his parents were hardcore about consequences. Wait, for real? You have an actual babysitter? In 8th grade? She's 17. Ashley goes to the high school. He rubbed his eyes, and she's a complete psycho. At first, I thought he was being dramatic. It's Fish. Everything was dramatic. But over the next couple weeks, the stories got worse. Ashley wasn't just annoying. She was keeping him up all night, on the phone with her boyfriend until 3 a.m., laughing super loud right outside his door. She'd bring friends over after his parents left for work. His mom worked nights at the hospital. His dad did security. She was going through his stuff, taking money from his room. Just tell your parents, I said during lunch. Fish shook his head. She already told them I snuck out twice, which I didn't, but who are they gonna believe? They already think I'm a screw-up. That was true. Mr. and Mrs. Miller were nice but strict, and Fish had burned through their trust with all his stunts. The exhaustion was getting worse. He fell asleep during a test in Bailey's class and got a 0. He quit showing up to basketball practice. When Coach Williams benched him, Fish just shrugged like he didn't even care anymore, which wasn't like him at all. Then one day he pulled me into the empty music room, hands actually shaking. She was in my room last night. What do you mean? I woke up at like 2 a.m. and she was just standing there by my bed with her phone flashlight on my face. She said she was checking on me, but bro, she just stood there for like 10 minutes. That's assault or something, I said. We gotta tell someone. She said if I tell anyone, she'll tell my parents she caught me with weed. They'll send me to military school or something. He looked like he was about to cry, which was insane because Fish never cried. Not even when he broke his wrist doing a stupid skateboard trick. He showed me texts on his phone, weird messages from random numbers saying stuff like, stop lying about me, and you know what happens to snitches. But when I tried to read them closer, the screen was all cracked and the messages were hard to make out. I told him he could stay at my place, but he said Ashley would tell his parents he ran away and make it worse. I offered to come over when she was there to catch her in the act, but he said his parents would freak if they knew he had someone over without permission. Fish got more paranoid. He said Ashley was following him to school now, that he saw her car in the parking lot. He said she'd gotten into his Instagram and was messaging people pretending to be him. The other kids started avoiding him because he was acting weird, but I stuck by him. That's what friends do. Then he stopped coming to school altogether. After 3 days, I couldn't take it anymore. I told my mom everything about Ashley, the threats, all of it. My mom got this weird look on her face and immediately called Mrs. Miller. I could only hear one side of the conversation, but my mom kept saying things like, I understand, and that must be so difficult, and yes, we're here if you need anything. When she hung up, she sat me down. Honey, Fish doesn't have a babysitter. What? But he said his parents haven't had a babysitter for him since he was 11. They've been home every night. His mom switched to day shifts months ago specifically so someone would always be home with him. My stomach dropped. But Ashley, there's no Ashley, sweetie. Fish has been struggling. His parents found him in the garage 2 nights ago, screaming at someone who wasn't there. He's in the hospital getting help. All those details he told me suddenly felt different. Her blonde hair with the pink streak, her annoying laugh, the way she chewed gum too loud, the texts. That night she stood over his bed. None of it was real. Fish came back to school a month later, quieter but more like himself. We were shooting hoops after school one day when he said, my babysitter might have been fake, but there's no way those melons weren't real, and we both cracked up.